So we've all seen the hype, right? AI is going to write everything for you. You hear these stories about people 10xing their writing speed literally overnight. It sounds incredible, but you kind of have to wonder, does any of it actually work? Well, for most of us, that promise feels miles away from the, frustrating reality of trying to get these tools to work without sounding like a corporate robot. So let's get real about what it actually takes.
Yeah, the AI evangelists, they promise you magic, but what we usually get is this generic, soulless text. You end up spending more time trying to engineer the perfect prompt than you would have just writing the darn thing yourself in the first place. And it still needs a ton of editing just to be usable. It's more work, not less. So here's the crucial point. We have to reframe how we think about this tech. AI is not a replacement for your brain or for your voice. It's an assistant, a really powerful one for sure, but its real job is to amplify the skills you already have. It makes a good writer faster. It doesn't make a non-writer good. So what's really slowing us down? It turns out, before we even get to the AI part of the equation, there are way bigger, more fundamental points of friction in the writing process that are costing us hours and hours of our time. These right here, these are the real culprits. It starts with those creative hurdles, that awful feeling of just staring at a blank page, or you fall down a research rabbit hole for 3 hours and haven't written a single word. Then you've got the process mistakes, like the classic trap of editing every single sentence right after you write it, which just completely kills your momentum. And of course, there's the organizational chaos of having your ideas scattered across a dozen different apps and random notes. But here's the thing. These aren't personal failings. It's not a lack of creativity on your part. They are system and tool problems. And you know what? That's great news, because tool problems have tool solutions. Okay, what are the tools? All right, let's get practical. I'm going to walk you through the complete stack that I use to write over 20,000 words a week. And it's a mix of smart AI assistants and some surprisingly simple non-AI tools that honestly do the real heavy lifting. Okay, let's start with the AI tools. The key here is to remember their rule. They are assistants. We are not asking them to write for us. We're using them to handle very specific, time-consuming tasks. Here are the ones that actually work. Now, notice how specific each tool's job is. I use Claude or ChatGPT for that initial research phase. Asking for counter-arguments or brainstorming different angles. That alone saves hours. Grammarly, that's my go-to for the final polish, catching all the little errors my eyes just miss. And Otter.ai is fantastic for when I'm just tired of typing. I can just talk out my ideas and get a rough transcript to start working from. Okay, so the AI assistants are great for those specific tasks, but they don't work without a solid foundation. These next tools, these are the unsung heroes of the entire workflow. They keep everything organized and just moving smoothly. This is where the real magic happens. Notion is my command center. Every idea, every bit of research, every draft, it all lives there. No more searching for notes. The Hemingway editor is a lifesaver for clarity. It literally highlights complex sentences in yellow and red so you know exactly what to fix. When I'm stuck on an outline, I'll use Loom to record myself just talking through the structure. It's amazing how speaking can unblock you. And Toggle? Well, Toggle keeps me honest by tracking my actual focused writing time. So how does this all fit together? Well, having the right tools is totally useless if you don't have a system to connect them. So here's a simple 4-phase process that integrates everything into a repeatable, friction-free workflow. It basically breaks down like this. Phase 1, idea to outline, takes about 20 minutes. I'm in Notion, capturing ideas, maybe I'm using Claude for a little bit of research, and sometimes I'll record a quick Loom just to talk out the structure. Phase 2 is the first draft, a focused 45 to 60-minute brain dump. Absolutely no editing allowed. Phase 3 is for editing and polish. That's where I bring in the Hemingway editor for clarity and Grammarly for that final check. And finally, publication is just 10 minutes of formatting and hitting publish. That's it. Then what's the big takeaway? Well, when you look at this whole system, it really all comes down to a fundamental shift in mindset. This isn't about finding some magic tool or a secret shortcut. It's about building a better system from the ground up. This right here is the core idea. Every single tool, every step in the process is designed to do one thing: reduce friction. It removes all those tiny moments of hesitation or decision-making or searching that break your flow and just steal your momentum. Speed is just a byproduct of a smooth process. And that leads to this.
You could have the most expensive, feature-packed software in the world, but without a reliable workflow, you're still going to be slow. A simple, good enough system that you actually use will always be a complex, perfect system that you don't. The process is king. And finally, never forget this. The reason anyone reads your work is for your unique perspective, your voice, your ideas. The goal of all these tools isn't to replace that. It's to clear away all the administrative junk so you have more time and energy to focus on what only you can bring to the page. So I'll leave you with this question. Looking at that list of bottlenecks from earlier, the blank page paralysis, the research rabbit holes, the idea chaos, what is the one thing that's slowing you down the most? And what one tool or process change can you implement this week to start reducing that friction? If you love this content, please share, please make sure you click like on this video and subscribe to our channel.